Imagine walking into a Cadillac dealership in the 1950s. You take one look at the gleaming chrome, the white wall tires, and the towering tail fins, and you think, yeah, this is it. This is the peak of American luxury. But then, somewhere across the ocean, an Italian designer looks at the same Cadillac and thinks, not quite. So, what happens when a Cadillac gets sent to Italy for a little refinement? Well, you get the Cadillac Series 62 by Ghia, and today we're taking a closer look at its story. This video is inspired by two articles about the Tucker Corporation, one from Auto Evolution and another from Sotheby's. You'll find the links in the Google Doc linked in the description. I highly recommend checking them out if you'd like to learn more. In the 1950s, if you wanted the best in American luxury, you bought a Cadillac. It had the looks, the presence, and the reputation to match, but for some, even that wasn't enough. A select few wanted something even more exclusive, something that took Cadillac's elegance and pushed it even further. Now, we're not talking about the average upper-middle-class consumer who just wanted something with a smooth ride and a big back seat for the family. This is about the kind of person who would walk into a Cadillac showroom, raise an eyebrow, and then say, I'll take the chassis, but I want something that'll make the rest of the crowd weep with envy. Those buyers had the option to order just the chassis from Cadillac and send it off to a coach builder who'd slap on a custom body, but don't get too excited. This wasn't a super popular route, especially by the 50s. You see, back in the early 1900s, this was a common thing. But as time went on, fewer and fewer people were shelling out for custom coach-built bodies. And then along came Carrozzeria Ghia, led by the talented Luigi Gigi Segre. Ghia wasn't just making cars for the rich and famous. By the early 50s, they were building custom bodies for manufacturers like Chrysler and Volkswagen, but Luigi had an idea. Why not take a popular American car like the Cadillac Series 62 and give it that European flair? So, in 1953, Segre did something radical. He ordered two Series 62 chassis, the kind the average American banker would drive to work, and sent them off to Ghia's design studio in Turin. The goal? To create a car that looked like $1 million, and that's exactly what he did. Now, let's talk about that body. Segre transformed this Cadillac into a smooth, low-slung, streamlined Grand Tourer that could have been on the cover of Vogue. The new body was crafted from hand-formed aluminum panels. Yes, I'm talking about pure handcrafted art. The chassis itself? It stayed the same as the Series 62's with its 126-inch wheelbase, big and imposing, just like a Cadillac should be. But Segre's magic made it look smaller and so much more modern. He gave it a set of sharp side fins, a stunning Italian front grille, and subtle chrome-plated trims that ran from the hood, over the roof, and around the rear window. Inside, the transformation continued. Sure, the dashboard was the same as the one in the production version, but Ghia did a little tweaking, replacing the steering wheel with a smaller wood-rimmed one and covering everything in high-quality leather. And since Segre wanted to make this a proper Grand Tourer, he swapped out the back seat for a luggage compartment that could fit 4 suitcases. Under the hood, well, the 331 cubic inch V8 from the standard Series 62 was still in place, churning out a solid 210 horsepower. Not exactly mind-blowing, but remember, this wasn't supposed to be a sports car. This was a luxury machine built for smooth, comfortable cruising, and with that lighter body and lower center of gravity, it felt nimbler and quicker than its more massive counterpart. That power was sent to the rear wheels through a 4-speed Hydra-matic automatic transmission, keeping things smooth and effortless on the road. Up front, a coil spring independent suspension helped soak up the bumps, while the rear featured a live axle with semi-elliptical leaf springs. And when it was time to bring this Italian-styled Cadillac to a stop, 4-wheel hydraulic drum brakes handled the job. It had the style, but it also had the substance to match. After debuting at the 1953 Paris Auto Show, this car became the darling of the elite. And who could blame them? It was stunning. And soon, rumors started swirling about who had their eye on one of these beauties. Among them, Prince Ali Khan, who was reportedly so taken by the car, he bought it for his wife, none other than Hollywood icon, Rita Hayworth. If you're enjoying the video, consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of April, and every click helps a lot. It might not seem like much, but it actually makes a huge difference in keeping the channel going and bringing you more videos like this. Thanks for the support. While it's unclear if Prince Khan bought the very first show car, we do know that a second one was made and it had a few tweaks. This particular Cadillac, the one you see on screen, is distinguished from its sister car by some notable differences. It features a unique grille with thin, vertical bars finished in gold anodized aluminum, as well as no front fender parking lights, different tail lights, and a more streamlined rear license plate holder. It's also got two half bumperettes in the front instead of a full front bumper. If you're wondering what all that means, think of it as Cadillac saying, yeah, we're still the best and we're not afraid to stand out a little more. This car was acquired by Don Williams of the Black Hawk Collection around 2 decades ago, and it has since been restored by the late Mike Fennell, a well-known restorer from Santa Clarita, California. After its restoration, the car got some serious attention, including features in magazines like Exotic Cars Quarterly and Collectible Automobile. It even made a couple of memorable appearances at the prestigious Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance in 1989 and 2002, where it was reunited with its sister car. The 1953 Cadillac Series 62 by Ghia is not just a rare collectible, it's a car that blends the engineering and build quality of Cadillac with the breathtaking design of Ghia. It's the kind of car that doesn't just turn heads, it stops people in their tracks, wondering how something so beautiful could even exist. If you're lucky enough to own one, well, you might have a piece of Hollywood history too. And if you are wondering, both cars still exist today. One resides in the Peterson Automotive Museum, while the other remains in private hands. If you ever get the chance to buy one of the two, well, I hope you've got some serious cash lying around. One of them sold at Sotheby's for $1,430,000. So yes, unless you've been saving up by skipping coffee runs for the last 500 years, this one might be a little out of reach. What do you think? Did Ghia's design make this Cadillac even more special, or do you think it lost some of that classic Cadillac feel? Does it still have that all-American luxury vibe, or did the Italian influence take over? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and click on the recommended video that appears on the screen. It's all about the Tucker 48. I take a closer look at Preston Tucker, the founder, and the fascinating history behind his car company. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.